Hey mathletes, in this lesson we're going to examine parallel and perpendicular lines. So the first one we're going to look at is parallel lines. So here we have two line equations. They're parallel. You can see they're parallel because they don't intersect. But it could be that we're just zoomed in, we don't see where they intersect. What we need to do is look at the slopes. So this red line we can see has a rise of 2 and a run of 3. Giving it a slope of 2/3. This green line we can see has a run of 3 and a rise of 2, so it also has a slope of 2/3. So anytime line equations have the same slope but a different y-intercept, means they will never intersect. Every time this one goes up 2 and over 3, this one's going to do exactly the same. It's like playing a game with someone and you're winning, and every time they score a point, you score a point. They will never beat you. Okay, your scores will never be the same. This is what makes lines parallel, having the same slope and a different y-intercept. Now, perpendicular lines are different. The most common set of perpendicular lines you see are the x and the y-axis. So the x-axis has a slope of 0. 0 divided by anything is 0. The y-axis has an undefined slope. It's something divided by 0. So taking a look at this relationship in the red and the green lines, we're going to figure it out. So we look at the slope of the red line, we can see that it has a rise of 2 and a run of 3, giving it a slope of 2/3. It's positive, the line is going up. Obviously, if the perpendicular line that makes a 90-degree angle with it, if one is going up, the other one has to be going down. So if we check this slope of the green line, we can see that it has a rise of -3 and a run of 2, giving it a slope of -3/2. So if you look at the two slopes, 2/3 and -3/2, one is positive, one is negative. One is 2/3, one is 3/2. These are reciprocals. So perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals. Now, one of the things they want you to do is find a line equation that is either parallel or perpendicular to a different line and goes through a set point. The easiest form to use is point slope. Remember, that's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You simply plug in the point and the slope, then you can leave it alone, unless they want it in slope-intercept form, at which point you just simplify it. So since in this case we're looking at parallel lines, we know that if we have a line equation y equals 2/3 x plus 4, that our slope has to be 2/3. The x number they're giving us is 6, the y number they're giving us is 3. So all we need to do is substitute 6 in for x and 3 in for y. So this is a perfectly acceptable line equation. Y minus 3 equals 2/3 x minus 6. It's in point slope form, it's fine. If they want it in slope intercept, you're just going to have to distribute and then add 3. So 2/3 times x is just 2/3 x. And 2/3 times -6, -4. If we want this in slope-intercept, so y equals mx plus b, all we need to do is eliminate this -3. So we're just going to add 3 to both sides. So the slope-intercept equation that is parallel to 2/3 x plus 4 is 2/3 x minus 1, and that will pass through 6/3. So in this case, we want a perpendicular line. So if we have an equation y equals 3x plus 1 that we want to be perpendicular to, and it's going to pass through 9, 5, again, we're going to plug in 9 for x, 5 for y, and we just want the opposite reciprocal slope. So if you have a slope of 3, the opposite would be -1/3. So that's our slope, -1/3. We're going to plug in the 5 for the y. We're going to plug in the 9 for the x. And we're done. Unless they want you to write it in slope-intercept. So we're just going to distribute and then simplify. So negative 1/3 times x is just negative 1/3 x. Negative 1/3 times negative 9, negative times a negative is going to be positive, and 1/3 times 9 is 3. Again, we just want this to say y equals means we need to eliminate this minus 5, so we're going to add 5 to both sides. So in slope-intercept form, the equation is going to be y equals negative 1/3 x plus 8. This will be perpendicular to this line and pass through 9, 5.